Hello everyone, Kevin Does Things here, and I want to rant for about 10 minutes. Hear me out. Boycott Nintendo. No, really. No, that's all I really want to say about that. Boycott Nintendo. Is there anything else I can really say? Now, as someone who has grown up in the age of Nintendo, I grew up with the Wii system, the GameCube, the Wii U, which was my more failed console, but who gives a damn. I grew up with those games, and God, I loved them. They were fun, they had a great time, I loved every second of them. And then Nintendo Switch came out, and I loved it even more. I mean, look at my baby. Look at my baby. We have Henry and Henry Jr. Let me get Henry Jr. real quickly. We have Henry and Henry Jr. This is my first Nintendo Switch, and I did it to play Scarlet and Violet before DLC, but this bumper is busted, so I'm thinking of just selling it. So, big whoop. And then this is my main Nintendo Switch. My big lad. My Animal Crossing one. Because it's my favorite. Now, I might be wondering, Kevin, what's your whole gimmick? You have a Nintendo Switch. Why would you buy a Nintendo Switch 2? Now, I was planning on buying it. I truly was. I want to play the new Pokemon game, Legend ZA. Now, ZA looks fun. Trust me. I really want to say I want to play that. And I only bought my Nintendo Switch specifically for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That's it. That's the only reason why. I did no other reason for it. I wish I was joking about that, by the way. I really am not. But you might be wondering, Kevin, out of all of these, why are you talking about boycotting Nintendo? Why do you want to boycott this company that you love so much? To teach them a lesson and how not to screw over your selling point and the people who are buying your console. Because I'm going to say it. A lot of people have said it. Penguin Zero has said it. And a bunch of other people. The price point is stupid. And I think it is too. Now, I get people are going to say, oh, but Kevin, what about inflation? What about tariffs on the U.S.? What about inflation? Look, you could go to Japan and buy Nintendo Switch there for $300, but that's the only place that's going to be $300. Everywhere else will be $450, but Japan will get it for $300-something. Make it make sense. Now, second is this stupid problem that I see every time. The price of games keeps going, oh god, I sound like an insomniac. Game prices keep going up, and there's no roof for them. Now, I remember back in the day when I was a kid, I think I made a YouTube short about this already, but I will show it again. I bought my copy of Scarlet and Violet right here. This, say hello to the skeleton. Jingle, jangle, jingle. Come on, look at the camera, please. This was 50-something. $60. Basically $60. And I love it. I own the game. I have the game data on the Switch. And I have the game for free. Boom. I have the game, I have the data, and everything is all good. Now, where does the problem come in with this? The new Nintendo Switch games have two different sides. The digital version, which is $80 goddamn dollars, which is like, what are you doing? Why is it $80? And two, you then also have the second half being physical games are $10 more. And no, I am not saying you're owning the game for $90. Instead, you are buying a key. That plastic chip. That I can't really take out Scarlet and Violet to kind of reference it because it's in my game on my Nintendo Switch at the moment, so I don't want to rip it out. But it's like, you could buy the key for Scarlet and Violet, and then you let's say, this is hard to explain. Imagine you buy a house. You paid your mortgage, And it's like, oh, I am so excited to move into my new house. I should probably switch to the saw blade so I don't cut myself with the pocket knife version. And so you go to grab the key, and they hand you this. A key unlock, a access key. And you ask them, oh, what do you mean? This is my house, right? And then they say, no, this is not your house. This is our house, but you paid all that money so that you can access it. So that means I can control where I put that. So if I move my furniture and I paint the walls, that means I can keep the house walls yellow. If I paint the walls yellow, I can keep them yellow. If I make the bedrooms a kid bedroom, I can keep it that way. And then they just say, no. If we don't like your walls, we can change the wall color. We can change the bedroom. We can paint the outer windows, and we can do whatever we want, but you just have the right to live here. And if you don't like it, too bad, you paid for it, but we still own it. Video games are like that nowadays. Like, video games now suck in the way that you don't own your game. You don't own it. You don't own any bit of that game anymore. Instead, you now own the version of that game. You own the rights to play it, but you don't own the physical copy of it. That's basically what I mean. A good example of this, in my opinion, is VHSs versus, like, modern day, like, licensing. Like, this is a VHS of Aladdin, which I'm selling on eBay. I wish I had a better example. I don't have my eBay box in the closet. But basically, if I open this up, I really shouldn't because I'm trying to sell it, and I pull it out, I own the VHS. They can't modify it. They can't edit the movie. They can't alter it because I had the physical media, which means I feel like I am okay to have the physical thing, and I have the physical item. Unlike something else, like a digital purchase, where I own the key to play it, but I don't own the game fully. I feel like Minecraft's also a good example in this kind of existence, where you make an account, where you make an account. You make your account, which means you own Minecraft in some kind of way. You can play it, you can make your own creative worlds, you can do whatever you want, you could commit terrorism on the local villages, you could commit war crimes to unexpected victims. Basically, think of it like that. But in Minecraft, you could do whatever you want. You could have fun. You could make your own world. You can mod the game without getting in trouble because you own the Minecraft. You bought the account. You made an account and you bought the key, but you own the game. That's the big issue. A lot of games today don't have that, and price points, they're too expensive. That's the whole gimmick. What games are in this area of you pay a good amount of money, but you get a lot of fun out of it? Minecraft, Gmod. Yeah, those two. For one, they're both open world. You can basically do whatever you want. It's fun. It's baby, whatever. $30 for both games. It feels great. It feels fun. And you really don't have to worry about it. Seriously, that's the best I can explain it as. Like, I feel like there's a few Nintendo games too like that, like the old Nintendo games are like that, where you pay a small price but you get a lot of fun factor out of it, and you own your game. You own a physical cartridge, and that's what made it more fun because it wasn't connected to the hardware, which is really weird because Gmod links to your Steam account and Minecraft is linked to your main system. But I can show an example, which is really weird, but I kind of like it. Now, how does this change up for the new Nintendo Switch? Or the Switch 2? You're paying $450 for the Switch 2. Which I think is a decent price. Like, hear me out. The Switch 2 is $450, which isn't bad. Like, lower it down by $50, and I'll say it's a pretty decent price, because the Nintendo Switch 1 was originally If I remember correctly, it was originally a $300 price point. You guys can match me on that. I'm probably wrong somewhere. But the whole point being, $100 more isn't bad. The only problem is that the games on Nintendo Switch are $60. And they only came out with a few big Nintendo Switch games, maybe 5 or 6 a year. But here's the problem. $80 for one single game is batshit insane. Like, you could say, but you can spend $500 on a, I don't know, with a Mario Kart bundle. And it's like, yeah, I could. I could theoretically do that. But here's the thing. I don't like Mario Kart. Alright? I don't like Mario Kart. Mario Kart is not the thing that I like to play. It's the only game I dislike in my roster. So no, I will not be buying it. And if I want to buy it without the bundle, which that's only a pre-order bundle, you would have to pay $80 for a game. $80 for the online version and $90 for a physical version with the same thing it said about the house with a key. Yeah, when you get the physical version of the game for $90, you aren't owning the game. You're getting a key access chip that allows you to play the game. And once you take that chip out, it will actually, you won't be able to play it anymore. Which is annoying as hell. And it's like, Jesus Christ, I don't get it. Oh, and they always say, oh, upgrade your Switch space to have more games or uninstall a game you won't be playing. Why should I do that? Why should I do that? Why? Why should I have to uninstall a game I like? Like, if I wanted to play Fortnite, but also, let's say I want to play Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch 2. Alright? Let's say I wanted to. And, oh no, Pokemon ZA, Legend ZA, will actually need more space. So I'll need to uninstall, basically remove Fortnite from my Nintendo Switch 2. Just to do that, or spend money on more at Nintendo brand SD cards for storage. So you're making me spend more money on a console I already paid $450 for. Just so that I could, no joke, just play the games I want to play without having to deal with limited storage. Make that make sense. Boycott Nintendo. If you want to buy a console like this that is good and really fun, buy a Steam Deck. No, really, just buy a Steam Deck. You can get emulators to actually play the games you want to play without having to pay that much. And a Steam Deck costs only $300 something. The same as Nintendo Switch, and $150 cheaper than the Nintendo Switch 2. That's all I really need to say. Buy a Steam Deck. If you want to play your favorite old Nintendo titles, you want to play your favorite games, you want to do all that, buy a Steam Deck, get an emulator, do it there. Because at this point, Nintendo has crossed the line in the sand. I had to make a YouTube short about this, and even so, I wanted to make an entire long video about this because this is a problem. This is a problem. This is an issue with Nintendo's side. And you could say, now I'm going to end the video with saying, oh, but what about the tariffs that Donald Trump's doing? That's the only time I'm going to say his name, don't worry. What about the tariffs? What about inflation? No, those have nothing to do with it. For one, tariffs are for that kind of stuff, but tariffs don't affect that. So it's like you're making the price, and I think, and they said that the $450 was the base price. Which means if they want to make if they want to get the $450 instead of having a tariff, that means they're going to have to raise the price more, which means they're going to be paying more than $450 for it. And in Japan, you could just say, oh, but why not just go to Japan and buy a Nintendo Switch there and then bring it back to America? Because those Nintendo Switches have one issue. They are only Japanese and only have Japanese language barriers. And they are $300. So if you want to buy a $350 Nintendo Switch 2 in Japan but only be Japanese, then yeah, go for it. I'm okay with that. Go, choose a system. But if you want to get it where you can get any language, English, Spanish, you name it, $450. Cash it up, boys. Come on. Look. Come here. Go, open your wallet. Come here. Oh, give me your money. I'm mad about this. Not because I'm just tired of this stupid bullshit. Not because of all the money purchased. I've spent way too much stupid money on Genshin Impact. Like, here's the thing. I will be honest with you, I've spent stupid amounts of money on Genshin Impact. But the difference is Genshin is free. Like, it is a free game, and those microtransactions help the game go. And that's understandable. I can fully get that. And that's fully understandable. I like that. That makes sense. But you want us to pay $80 for a game with no microtransactions, by the way. There are no microtransactions whatsoever. But at the same time, then pay for a console to play that game for $450. We are going through a damn recession in America. We are trying to get our money back after 4 years of failure. And then your first thought to do is to make something so expensive that you might lose the market of families that are going to buy the console. Dear God, what is wrong with Nintendo? So, what is my goal? What is my ending quote? What am I going to say about this? Boycott Nintendo. Boycott it entirely. Don't buy their games, because at the end, that just fuels them to raise prices higher. And if companies see that, oh, Nintendo got away with a lot of money from $80 games, then other companies are going to raise their games to $80. And you know what? We're going to be priced out entirely. We can't play video games unless we have big money to spend. And that ain't right. By any means. Video games are a medium for relaxing and enjoying an artistic value. But spending $80 for a single video game? It hurts to think about that. It really does. It hurts my head every time I have to think, oh boy, I'm going to buy a game, and then I see it's overly expensive. Boycott Nintendo. Boycott them. Teach them a lesson and tell them, hey, this ain't right, and we don't want your expensive games. Go back to the old days where things were simpler. Making things more expensive is going to make them more money, but it's going to give more backlash. And this is coming from a guy who just is a backlash, less chill person. That's it. Peace.